Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and peace, salutation, and strong faith to the hopeful elect brothers out there that's pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Um, just want to get in a quick video because I was checking out this X22 report financial, and it was basically the guy was just going into the fact that the insiders are aware of what's coming, the financial crisis, lack of jobs, and the dollar depleting and ultimately collapsing. Therefore, having hyperinflation, inflation and hyperinflation. So these things are all biblical prophecy. They're in the scriptures. The financial crumbling of a society, it takes place and lets you know through the scripture that is biblical prophecy. And so I would strongly suggest any brother that get the chance to check this video out. I'm gonna put a link, Lord willing, in the description so you can be able to watch it. It's a short video, about a little less than 15 minutes, but it gives a lot of information in there. You chew the meat and spit out the bones. But I'm going to read a little bit of this illustration. It says retailers are going to have a stressful 2018, meaning the retail stores, because they're not going to have the sales are going to be down. They're not going to have a lot of shoppers. People are not going to be going in and out the retail stores, purchasing items and goods, purchasing clothing, purchasing electronics, whatever type of retail store. They're going to have a real tough time in 2018 because people aren't going to be purchasing, because as the economy continues to suffer, so does the cost of living goes up, and people aren't having they're not having the finances to afford a lot of luxuries, to afford a lot of things that they want to do. Even just the small minute things you want to do of life's pleasures, like just going to the movies. It's like $24 to catch a 2-hour movie for ticket for two, when tickets used to be about $6 a person, 12 bucks. So that gives you an insight on how things are just continuously, prices are slowly creeping up, and they're silently creeping up because the news aren't really reporting these things because they don't want the public to panic. But the retailer stores are going to suffer, and they've been suffering ever since 2008. The retailers' sales has been going down and down, especially in the Christmas or holiday seasons. Sales aren't up like they used to be. So families are in financial binds. So they're like telling kids and their family and loved ones, like, look, you got one thing you want to celebrate this year. You want to celebrate your birthday and get gifts, or you want Christmas gifts. That, and they're not buying like they used to. People are not making the type of money they're used to making. People aren't getting raises. People's retirements are being people are losing their retirement. So we're in a very glorious time because all this is biblical prophecy. But it says the corporate media is now reporting that retail is not going to improve. It's going to get worse next year. Institutional investors are getting out of the market, and they are selling to retail investors. So basically they're selling their businesses because they're not making much profit. It's becoming a burden more than a luxury. It's becoming more of a hassle to sell their products than it is to reap benefits off of it. Another indicator shows that the market is on the verge of coming down. And like I said, I'm gonna put the link to this video in the description. But all this is biblical prophecy. We know that these things are going to take place. We welcome these things. We hope these things magnify, because that's just getting us closer to getting out of here. The more and the more Esau's society suffers and his financial stability starts to crumble, meaning him being able to earn money, and because the everyday Joe Blow Edomites, crackers, they're suffering. They're starting to hit that financial cringe as well. So more and more as this place, America's is getting in a financial deficit is increasing, and the bind is getting squeezed more and more. The bubble's got to pop. The bubble pops, that's it. we're on our way. We getting that much closer to getting the hell up out of here. So the first scripture I want to bring out is Isaiah 42:9. It says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles, and the inhabitants thereof. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, the villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing, let them shout from the tops of their mountains, of the mountains. So basically, all these things are going to take place. The Most High, He tells you they're going to take place. And how does He tell you? For one, it's written in the scriptures. You can read it yourself. That's one way of Him telling you. But the main way He tells you is by sending forth His prophets, His servants, His watchmen. They breaking this down and showing you, men starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and I can't stress that enough. And the debt that I'm indebted to those men by the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they set the perfect example. They've been doing this thing strong, and they set forth with them, bringing forth us young men that are up under them doing the same thing. So the men are out there telling you, Yahweh Shemel Shai is using his servants as vessels to run his word through their mouths so you can know what's going on. So you can't say you ain't been told. And then it's backed up by scriptures, and it comes to pass through prophecy. So the next scripture is Zechariah 8:10. It says, for before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the afflictions. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. And that means basically there ain't going to be no work. No work for men, no hire for men, no hire for beasts, meaning people aren't going to be having jobs. That's why it's going to be harder and harder. It's been hard, but like the article said, that retailers are going to have a stressful 2018. And it says, reported that retailers are not going to improve. It's going to get worse next year. How's it going to get worse? Because people aren't going to have no jobs, no hire for men, no work. No, there was any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction, the financial afflictions. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. And there you go. That's gonna start your invading of houses. People are gonna be going. Love of many shall wax cold. People are gonna be going into their neighbors' houses, home invasions. They're gonna be against one another, protecting what they have. People trying to take what they have. So all these things you can feel it in the air if you're in the spirit, which brothers know. You can see that these things are coming to pass. That's why Esau and the Edomites and a lot of, not just Esau, but these other nations, their gun sales are on the rise. It's extremely. That's the only retailer that's actually going to be. Things are going to be. They're not going to be affected by retail sales next year. Their retail sales are going to go up. It's going to continue to go up. Because why? Because people are going to be purchasing firearms. They're going to be purchasing ammunition. People are going to be purchasing gold and silver. Because a lot of people are going to be more and more aware of this, and they're going to see these things developing. So therefore, they're going to get locked and loaded. Because why? I will set all men, every one, against his neighbor. This is Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I stand upon my watch. It's like I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he shall say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. So the servants of the Most High standing upon their watch right now, and they're bringing out this truth. They're setting upon the tower and watching to see all the prophecies that's coming to pass, and they're delivering it through the word by going out every week and making these videos. Verse 3. So for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. The vision is talking about the prophecies, and it is speaking, mean they're going to come to pass. They're not going to lie. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So once these prophecies start to happen and more, it's going to be a domino effect. They're going to continue to happen more and more. They won't tarry. They won't stop and then go again. They're going to keep going at that point. Behold, his soul, which is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And the just is the service, the watchmen, the elect. They're going to live by during these times, they're going to put their faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai may provide for them and keep them safe. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. It's talking about Esau, the so-called white man, who enlarged his desires as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heaped unto him all people. And that's what the so-called white man does. He goes and he has his embassies, he has his military base. He done joined himself to all these different nations. They done made a tumult with him. They done made alliances with him, and yet and still he's not for their gain. He's for his own personal gain. They're gonna see, because he's gonna do something to make these other nations turn against him. Verse 6. Shall not these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? To him that ladeth himself with thick clay. That thick clay is the debt that he gets himself in. That's what the so-called white man does, is he's heaping all these different nations up under himself, but yet and still he's getting himself into debt. And then if you look at the United States, and their the deficit is, if I'm not mistaken, if it's not touching 20 trillion, it's almost at 20 trillion. So the deficit is a representation of that thick clay, that debt that the so-called white man has. And that debt is only gonna continue to increase. It ain't gonna decrease. Esau, he comes in a manner of letting you think that things are improving, but really all the while things are not improving. It's continuing to be to get worse and worse. But hey, he fools the masses. How does he fool the masses? With his media. He fools the masses with newsletters, his TV programs, and all any outlet that he can get a message across to the people. He's using it as a way of tricking the people. So that thick clay represents the debt that Esau is continuously compiling. That lets you know that we're in those times of this prophecy, and this is talking about America. Because when you look in the world today, this only fits America. Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil them, and shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. This is America, and this is a so-called white man, and this is America. So with this debt coming up, with this debt that's going on, and this economic collapse that's coming up, you know that these scriptures, we're living in those times, and you know that the scriptures fit the so-called white man, and it fits America to a T. So I'm gonna get one last scripture and in closing. This is Micah 6:10. It says, are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked? And when you read in When you read in Malachi, the first chapter, I think about the fourth verse, it gives you who is the wicked, who would this be talking about. Matter of fact, I'll just grab it real quick. Actually, let me go right here. All right. This is Malachi 1:4. This is whereas Edom said, "We are impoverished, but will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever." So the borders of wickedness is talking about Esau. We know that. So when we go back in the Micah, when it says, "Are there yet the treasure of wickedness in the house of the wicked?" We know this is talking about Esau. It says, "And the scant measures that is abominable." The scant measures is talking about basically his this fiat money, this monetary system is doesn't have any. It's not true measure. It's not. There's no real true currency. There's nothing backing his currency. It's not backed by gold and silver or cattle, which is true wealth or true money. It says, "Shall I count them pure with the wicked balance and with the bag of deceitful weights?" Because that's what this is. When you get paid, those FRNs, you get your paycheck and you cash your check, and you basically exchange your check for your paper money. You basically receiving a wicked balance, a bag of deceitful weight, because even though you hold $1 in your hand, every dollar you hold has the buying power and the value of about 4%. So it's not an equal value because there's nothing back in the currency. So you can't you're basically you're not receiving the full benefits of your money. That's why when you go to spend your money, you're spending more money to buy products or to pay for services because the money doesn't have any value. Verse 12: "For the rich man thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongues is deceitful in their mouth." Because Esau will tell you, like, "Oh yeah, um, sales are up, jobs are up, the economy is recovering," but yet and still there's talks of bailouts and stimulus packages, and Obama trying to spark the economy by giving away those stimulus packages or those checks to help refuel or recharge the economy. All these different talks of recovery. So basically, it's just all lies. It's their deceitful mouth that's telling you that, oh, everything's looking good. Well, really, it's not. And all the financial experts will tell you it's not. It's getting worse. It's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And a lot of these investors and these financial scholars, they done moved out of America. They done transferred their currency, and then they're buying up gold and silver like crazy. Why? Because they see what's on the verge of coming. They see what's happening. Verse 13: "Therefore also will I make thee sick and smitten thee, and making thee desolate because of their sins. Thou shalt eat, but not be satisfied, and thy casting down shall be in the midst of thee. And thou shalt take a hold, but shalt not deliver. And that which thou deliverest, I will give up to the sword." And there's a scripture that talks about in the Apocrypha that says, if he be multiplied, he'll be multiplied for the sword. So if there's anybody that's in a decent case or a good case, it doesn't matter. It's gonna hit you too, because Esau only wants two types of classes. He don't want upper class, middle class, lower class. He just wants upper class, and everybody else is lower class, and that's where it's coming to. But when it's all said and done, Esau will be in the lower class. All of them, talking about the elites, when they go into slavery, they're going to be in the lowest class there is, while we that are considered in the minorities are in the lower class. We'll be on top. We'll be in ruler. We'll be ruling. We'll be ruling the kingdom of heaven. What's the scriptures say? The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. That's first talking about Jacob and Esau, because Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that follow it. So therefore, the kingdom of heaven is set forth for the Israelites to rule. And also, the low in the society today, we talking about the brothers, man. The elect. The elect is not sitting in high places right now. The elect are just regular, everyday, hardworking men. They're not movie stars. They're not rap artists. They're not athletes. They're not millionaires. The Most High use the meek. So we're gonna have a change of power of rulership within the nation of Israel, and those that are on the bottom in the nation in the nation of Israel, and then also the switching of power of rulership with Esau going down and the Israelites coming into power. So I'm gonna close this out. I'm at verse 15. It says, "Thou shalt sow, but thou shalt not reap. Thou shalt tread the olives, but thou shalt not anoint thee with oil and sweet wine, but shalt not drink wine. For the statute of Omri are kept, and all the works of the house of Ahab, and ye walk in their counsels, that I should make thee desolate, make thee a desolation, and the inhabitants thereof an hissing. Therefore ye shall bear the reproach of my people." So when these things take place, these people are gonna their people aren't gonna sow what they're reaping. They're gonna be working, and they're not gonna get the benefits of the hard work that they're putting in. And Esau, you're gonna be sowing, but you're not gonna reap the benefits because your kingdom's going down. You're going down for the reproach of the Most High's people, man. So with that, I hope this video was edifying, and I want to say all praise and honor and glory and fear to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful Lake brothers out there that's sincerely enduring in this truth. Shalom.